Fuck it, Death Battle.
This battle is sponsored by Marvel Snap and Prize Picks.
I got told to watch this one. I got recommended to watch this one, so fuck it. I'll throw it in now since the last 3 videos have not been hitting. But Death Battle realistically is something that I do want to watch. Alright, let's see how this one goes, chat. Bowser versus Eggman though?
Bowser versus Dr. Eggman.
The king of the Koopas and the baddest of badniks. And they're not alone.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Ah, the Mushroom Kingdom. A peaceful land of kindness, adventure, love.
Ah, boring. Move aside, princess. It's time this place got way more awesome. Here comes King Koopa himself, better known as Bowser.
The moment this orphan star child was found by Kamek, it was clear Bowser would command the disparate outcasts of the Mushroom world, the Koopa clan.
Sadly, not everyone's born a toad, and they treat these critters like monsters, fated to a life of infinite jump farming for one-ups.
Damn.
Bowser wanted a different world, but Princess...
Low-key? Okay, a minute in the vid, I could low-key say, Eggman, Bowser. I'ma low-key go with Bowser because I feel like Bowser stacks relatively to Mario, and Mario is relative to Sonic. But then that would mean Eggman would stack relative to Sonic, and I can't go by this logic. I don't know how either one of them stack up. But Eggman's a bitch. I'm going with Bowser.
Princess Peach Toadstool would never allow the
I cannot remember a single time Eggman was clean.
evil king's day in the sun. Her light
don't
was
like
so
Eggman.
bright, Bowser became infatuated with her.
So he turned all the toads into bricks and kidnapped her, putting their princess in another castle, and another, like 40 years of castles, only to be released if she agrees to marry him and his dad bod.
Yet he was foiled time and time again by those pesky Mario brothers. However, Bowser is nothing if not persistent.
Look at him! Dude's built like a brick house strapped to a saw trap. That spiked shell takes a lot of punishment. Not even the weight of a castle can scratch it, especially when he rolls up like a prehistoric Beyblade.
And the Koopa King doesn't just breathe fire and control lava, he commands nature itself.
Spitting meteors from outer space, beckoning the earth with a snap, inhaling torrents of wind, straight up calling down lightning. What else has he got?
Oh, just a little dabbling in dark magic.
Hell yeah, Wizard Turtle.
The original NES manual even describes him as a sorcerer king. Magic is how he turned the toads into bricks, only countered by the princess's heart magic.
But that's not all the magic he's mastered. Telekinesis, creating perfect clones, reanimating his undead skeleton, and worst of
Alright.
all,
They're
ruining
giving him
every
everything.
game of Mario
We got
Party.
this.
Hey, no! I stole those coins fair and square.
Bowser spent
Bro,
decades hoarding
I
treasures,
love Mario.
coins, magic star rods, warships, clown cars, you name it. This is the same guy that created multiple flying castles fashioned after his own face.
Yeah, he's definitely got an ego on him. He's talked about having a 4-digit IQ, but I've seen this moron put death traps in his own backyard. A man after my own heart.
Despite his clumsiness, Bowser's charisma and leadership brought many to his side. Not enough to defeat Mario, but his army doesn't make it easy on the Red Plumber.
They're the most
Yeah, no.
wicked band of misfits this side of World 8-4. The Koopa Troop.
An army spanning multiple territories
strong?
across
Like,
the
really
Mushroom
together,
world
Mario
and
Brothers?
beyond.
Besides
Goombas,
Mario,
Koopas,
believe
the
me.
Troopas, and the others make up the infantry. Some with wings, some in shoes, and some even in race cars. They're the red shirts, first in and first out.
Piranha plants, bloopers, and lakitus use their surroundings to get the jump on unsuspecting prey, by land, sea, or...
Realistically though, no. Yeah, they are the strongest. From the movie, from what I saw, and the games, I don't think there's anybody relative to Bowser and all
sky.
that.
We'd be here forever,
Like, I
jotting
think
down the
besides,
small
like,
fries,
Mario,
booze, shy guys,
maybe
Indian
Luigi.
bombs with feet, and more.
It was imperative for Bowser to nurture a unit
I
that
think
covers their
Bowser's
own
third.
vulnerabilities. For example,
Or second.
Kamek and King Boo both have magic, but Blue has battlefield control with illusions and destabilizing dimensions, while Kamek focuses on buffing allies, canceling enemy powers, summoning anything he desires.
Or swapping my items to strong
Alright.
my Mario Party lead. not again.
Speaking of items, most of the minions can use pretty much any power-up Mario can. The Goombas make frequent use of Tanuki tails, and Bowser can really get into the cat roleplay. But as the Koopa Troop grew and grew, it started to feel less like an army and more like a family unit.
Oh, you mean like his kids, the Koopalings?
They're adopted.
What's the difference?
Good point. Bowser took them in and even trained them in dark magic.
Though no one's as spoiled as his natural Nepo baby, Bowser Jr., captain of the Koopa Troop.
Spoiled is an understatement. Remember his escapades as Shadow Mario? He terrorized Delfino Plaza with literal evil paint. That whole debacle was basically his attempt at elementary school art class.
And I bet Bowser still has some on the fridge. But really, the king is very protective of his kids. If the fam's in trouble, he can will himself to transform into a giant kaiju, all to crush whatever bully's talking smack.
Maybe a little overkill. Just one punch from Giant Bowser launched a castle out of orbit.
Damn.
Taking into account the flight path and the scale of their universe, Bowser's punch must have hit with a force of over 125 trillion tons of TNT. Considering how Yoshi punted poor Raphael the Raven so hard he exploded into a constellation of stars, this isn't even close to Bowser's full strength.
So don't bully his kid, especially if he falls into some of Bowser Jr.'s set of black paint. That stuff's scary.
Enough to unleash Bowser's Dark Fury, a form whose very steps cause widespread natural disasters.
Okay, seriously, how does Mario ever beat this guy? He's like Godzilla, Doctor Strange, and John Cena all in one big turtle.
We're not even to the best part.
L is for the V.
Bowser's dark magic became so potent he eventually learned how to warp the very fabric of reality.
Anything that
What Bowser scaling is this? Alright.
the king
I had it.
imagines, he makes happen. He turned all of Yoshi's Island into a storybook. And remember those painted worlds in Mario 64?
That was Bob.
Yeah, he made those. And the staircase that goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Oh God, does anyone know how to BLJ?
He also stole ultra-powerful items like the Wonder Flower, which can mold reality like
Damn.
Play-Doh, and the Dream Stone, which can be used to wish someone out of existence.
But his most iconic thefts are those big shiny power stars.
Don't judge a book
Let
by
me
its
help you out,
cover.
child.
Infant power stars, aka
it
Lumas,
doesn't look
can
as
become
bad for the
whole
video.
galaxies.
Shit.
They also ferried Mario across the universe in 3 seconds. That's 489 quadrillion times light speed.
Obviously, the Big Daddy Grand Stars are even crazier. Bowser used one to power his space kingdom, but then guess who showed up to ruin everything? It's a him!
And when the Grand Star
It's
was
him.
freed, it caused a chain reaction that destroyed
Bro.
the entire universe via a massive black hole.
Thanks, Space God, that Rosalina showed up to save the day.
Not that Bowser needed saving. He's been swallowed by another black hole and thrown into a star that went supernova.
Imagine if this crazy OP fire
Bro,
turtle had to
this
fight
fucker's OP.
himself. Oh wait, he did, and he beat the hell out of him.
With all this power, it's a wonder he still hasn't conquered the
Nah,
Mushroom
you
Kingdom.
shouldn't know.
Perhaps it's because his visions of grandeur were never really what he sought. Surrounding him is a crew of outcasts and miscreants like him, ride or dies that can't be swayed against him.
Oh, are you saying he's secretly happy because he's got a big
Yeah.
monster family now?
Yes, but also when they actually worked together, they legitimately conquered most of the known universe. So,
He's a baddie through and through who will teleport through space and time to show you what's what. Because he's no ordinary Koopa. Make way for the king!
The king is
this
tough.
battle is sponsored by Prize Picks.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action.
No ads. No ads.
Disguised possibility. Citizens of Earth, lend
Ew.
me your ears. Imagine a world of endless possibility where people are free as the wind. Isn't it disgusting? Now imagine a better world, one with proper guidance and the technology to bring about global peace.
But whiz, only a brilliant mind can make that happen.
Not just any brilliant mind, he's a genius at heart who knows the dangers within. He's Ivo Robotnik.
Dr. Eggman.
As a mad scientist myself, his story is my inspiration,
Okay.
just as Eggman's was his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik, who sought to create world peace through technology. But then his beloved granddaughter, Maria, was killed by the Guardian Unit of Nations,
Oof.
better known as...
Gun. They're frickin' called G-U-N.
Gun?
Anyway, Lil Eggy grew up a lonely narcissist because all his family talked about was Maria this, Maria that. Boo-hoo!
Neglect and envy tainted Ivo's goals of following Gerald's footsteps. He distanced himself from his grandfather's legacy. Instead of bettering the world, he would conquer it to get the attention he deserved.
No, you mean craved. Desperately craved.
Tomato, tomato.
You just said it the same way twice.
He aimed to establish Eggman Land, a capital of science.
Damn.
And this paradise would have worked just fine if not for that blasted Sonic the Hedgehog.
For years, Eggman's plan.
This is what I didn't want to cover. That when I was posting the videos, when I was posting the videos, I saw that I covered that every single time. Bro, I know that'll piss some people off. I know some people are gonna call me out on that next
Just
time.
like any good experiment, the doctor
Bro,
did more
I have so many
testing,
Death Battle
seeking better
videos lined up.
results.
He's created plenty of knickknacks to terrorize the world with.
Damn.
A laser gun, a cloning ray, mind control cannons, a flying armada, typical evil scientist stuff.
Then there's the big ones. He invented a spatial displacement trap, which, while online, scatters a target's atoms across space. Oh, and then there's the metal virus.
Valid.
Ooh, I don't think they take that here.
Of course they take Discover. You're stuck in
Which transmutes organic tissue into living metal zombies. It's so deadly, it created a plague that nearly wiped out all life on Earth.
Damn,
God.
Eggman never made himself immune to it. That's a whoopsie.
And when he's not duping you with
Whoopsie.
decoys, he's riding in style with the Eggmobile. It's lightweight for maneuverability, but tough enough to withstand moon-sized explosions and even the center of a black hole.
I mean, it's kinda lame looking, but he can plug
Kinda
it into
lame
big
looking.
bad mechs like the Egg Walker or the Death Egg Robot, whose giant laser once obliterated 77,000 cubic meters of rock in an instant. That's like having an atomic bomb in your pocket all the time. Oh, okay, maybe this
Damn.
guy's pretty cool.
Eggman built machines for a long list of combat
Eggman's tough as
situations.
fuck,
Some
apparently.
look like knights, others use extraterrestrial
but
sources
he
like the
hasn't gotten
Wisps,
anything
and
Bowser
then there's
over right
the
now.
orbital bases, like the Death Egg.
The reference is obvious, but Darth Vader's version is like a toy compared to the Death Egg, which can annihilate stars. Woof! A whole constellation gone in one shot.
That's not to say Eggman doesn't enjoy scrapping with blue hedgehogs himself.
Constellation?
Enter the Egg Dragoon.
Hell yeah! The rawest of the battle mechs. It's got
Please.
electric drills.
Please.
It's got ice missiles. It's got a whole lot of bullets. My
Please don't
God,
summon
man.
Corley Bowser.
I need it.
And don't forget, Eggman built all of
Please,
these things
please, please,
himself.
please, please, please.
Maybe world domination is in his grasp yet.
One problem. Eggman's a turbo loner. No hobbies,
Fuck.
no friends, no wife,
bitches.
nothing.
Come on, he has friends. I mean, he's a feminist. Oh, okay, maybe not, but what about Infinite? Sure, they might have joined forces over a mutually sought revenge against Shadow, but it counts. Sort of. Who needs friends when you can build friends?
Obviously, Eggman has a tough time collaborating with others, so he just built his own army instead.
The Eggman Empire.
The Badniks are mass-produced foot soldiers, buzz bombers, crab meats, caterkillers, egg robos, and don't forget those cute little moto bugs. The Badniks may seem simple, but they're led by an elite, multi-talented unit. The hard-boiled heavies. Really leaning into the egg thing, huh?
The army has a wide variety of troops, even your classic comedy duo with Orbot and Cubot. They're Eggman's assistants and immense disappointments. Every genius has their duds.
Hey, at least they're not
Immense.
Scratch and Grounder. But that's why he's made
Immense
top-notch bots
disappointment.
modeled after the
Crazy.
Sonic cast, like everyone's favorite robo-faker, Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic has the most horsepower in the Eggman Empire. He has the moves and speed of Sonic and then some. He's had his rebellious phases, but Eggman's reprogrammed Metal to better follow his commands. Additionally, when upgraded to his Neo form, Metal Sonic could copy biological data, including unique powers like Shadow's time stop technique, Chaos Control.
He could even copy Silver's psychokinesis. And
Egg-
with
no,
enough
wait,
chaos
I'm
energy,
switching my answer.
he powers
Eggman,
up into
Eggman,
Super Neo
Eggman,
Metal
Eggman.
Sonic.
I got Eggman.
Everything
I
would
got
change
Eggman,
with the appearance
Eggman,
of the
Eggman,
Phantom Ruby.
Eggman.
One of
I got
many
Eggman,
trump
I got
cards at
Eggman.
Eggman's disposal, the Phantom Ruby alters reality
switching,
by
I'm
manipulating
switching.
perception.
Basically, super OP illusions, but in Infinite's hands,
Fuck,
it's
but
a
I already-
weapon of mass
I
destruction. I don't know how illusions translate to body replicas, changing gravity, or making a fake sun, but go off, King.
And when used on the planet's consciousness, which is a thing, the ruby granted Eggman the Lightman form. Yep. Apparently, Super Eggman is canon, though it is pretty complicated to manifest.
Fuck no. Do y'all realize how OP that shit is? If he could copy, bro, realistically, I'm taking Eggman. If he could generally copy Sonic's abilities.
Phantom Ruby isn't the only souped-up gem Eggman has. He's used the Jeweled Scepter to make the world-shattering Egg Wizard. Then, on more than one occasion, he's effortlessly gathered the super rare, super powerful Chaos Emeralds. You know, the things that power Super Saiyan Hedgehog.
Eggman built and built and built, and eventually, he built something that started to build on him. Sage was originally designed as a mere assistant, but through an alien encounter, she was granted actual sentience.
Sage is already super powerful, but now she's also super smart. She thought up millions of battle plans all at once to defeat the massive titans.
And you can barely remember where you put your dune bug.
I know exactly where it is. It's at the police impound. Thank you very much.
Sage was Eggman's saving grace. He had previously found machines with personality lacking, but Sage's great adequacy in serving her function provided Eggman with something that, for the first time, he'd hate to lose. In essence, a sort of daughter.
So, like any good dad, he gave her the keys to his car, his spaceship, and his orbital death ray.
That's insane.
As fire chief, it's my job to help improve my community. That's why I
fuck out of here.
Hell, now she controls the entire army.
And this frankly unheard of trust from Eggman became crucial in defeating the End, a primordial entity so mighty even Supersonic struggled against it.
Their battle can only be described as peak fiction, because charged by 7 Chaos Emeralds, Supersonic's no joke.
The power of 1 emerald can shift continents. All 7 together can shift the universe.
And kill some pretty terrifying bosses, like Eggman's Time Eater, which ripped apart space-time like tissue paper.
In short, Chaos Emeralds give thoughts power. With them, Eggman's best machines can run indefinitely while matching the greatest powers ever seen. Like when 3 supers battled Solaris, who tried to destroy time itself. Solaris extended its chaos across multiple timelines in about 20 seconds, or 73 quadrillion times light speed.
It's funny though. While Eggman's smarts have sort of defeated Sonic here and there, he's pretty effective when he teams up with the Blue Blur to save the world.
Well, recall how Professor Gerald was a good person before losing the granddaughter he loved. In Eggman's case, now that he has Sage, perhaps a similar story is playing out in reverse.
Nah, Eggy will always have a harebrained scheme behind his cufflinks.
So watch out, critters and plebeians of the world. He is the Eggman, and he's got the master plan.
I got Eggman. I got Eggman.
Wiz, you gotta help me.
What up,
dude?
Are set. We've run. All right, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
I've come to make an announcement. This territory is now the base for my upcoming Eggman Land 2. What a joke! I am Dr. Eggman, your new genius overlord. Get a load of this!
That's Eggman.
Shut up, nerd! You call these toys an invasion force? Let's see Toads do better. That's a decoy, idiot! Infinite! This power is without peer. It is the ultimate strength. It's too late. All according to plan.
You've lost the battle before it has begun.
Excellent work as always, Metal. Ready to
No, this group is drippy as shit.
this upset?
Bro,
As you
what?
planned.
You know what they say, the more the merrier.
Busted!
Showtime!
Wait.
The more the merrier.
I feel like the top is better. Here, I got you.
Showtime!
And smaller. Maximum level light skin Bowser? Bro.
Are you tired of the
Another
same
fucking
old,
ad, bro.
same old?
Shut the fuck up.
I'll crush you!
Bowser's Arsenal is insane. Oh my god. No, I meant fucking the Eggman. Huh? Oh my god, is that a Mario beat? That's a good one beat.
How dare you keep your hands off my... Sage! The Death Egg! Max power!
No fucking way. No way. No. I know the bro. Let's get this shit. Come on. Bro, if Bowser got this shit, I'm gonna be so fucking surprised. But I'm gonna be so pissed I took my ass. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Curses! Sage! Fire it again! So long, Doctor!
I got that shit wrong, bro. I got it right, but then I switched my answer. Bro, I didn't think that shit would go like that at all.
KO! This war was not an easy one to win, which...
Loki, we'll take that as a V. I chose Bowser first. No. I switched because it looked like they were giving him... I did not know. Bro.
Might seem surprising given how the Sonic series is not afraid to show how tough its cast is, while Mario's comes across as more cartoony.
But as it turns out, Bowser had everything he needed to take Chrome Dome down. Strap in, this one's a lot, so we'll break it down into 5 categories.
First up is physical stats. Bowser pretty handedly outmatched any of Eggman's usual mechs, like the Egg Dragoon or the Death Egg Robot.
The Death Egg Robot could level cities. Bowser could punch a castle out of orbit.
The Death Egg could destroy stars, but Yoshi could match that level of power, and Bowser's strength is certainly above the green dinosaurs. Plus, while both Bowser and Eggman's tech survived black holes, Bowser's was much larger.
So, he may win stats, but this could...
Black holes,
What?
Bowser's...
Eggman's black hole. 212 point. His is 33,000.
was much larger.
So, he may win stats, but this could change with their powers. With so many items and minions, that could make all that a moot point.
Aside from power-up items, both could manipulate minds, create duplicates, and alter space-time. However, Bowser had a significant edge in having access to the majority of his abilities at all times.
Yeah, Eggman can do some crazy stuff, but only across different mechs, fortresses, or space bases. Bowser's all natural. He's got all his best powers built in, and he ain't even a robot.
Meaning he wins the war of attrition. He even had counters for battle enders like the metal virus and spatial displacement trap. Context matters for those weapons, and both backfired in the past. But more importantly, Bowser could simply reverse the effects with his transmutation magic. Conversely, most of Eggman's robots could get turned into, say, a frog or a block with no reliable way back. Bowser takes the edge in powers.
But definitely not for intelligence. Come on, you have a 4-digit IQ, Bowser? Really? That's cute. I mean, don't get me wrong. Bowser's not an idiot, usually. Just really, really clumsy. Poor fella.
Meanwhile, Eggman's an engineering genius who rarely ever gets bested by brains.
Easy dub. Now, let's talk trump cards.
As in, items so powerful they could decide the entire outcome on their own.
The Phantom Ruby was super dangerous, but specifically targets perceptions. Unlike Bowser's Wonder Flower, which mucks up reality for real. The Ruby affected a whole planet, but the Wonder Flower had the power to alter the universe. Also, the Dreamstone's ability to wish anything out of existence would have no problem cleaning up Super Neo Metal Sonic or Time Eater.
Their most prized possessions was a tougher call. Together, the Chaos Emeralds can break the universe, and so can the Grand Stars. Arguably not as much given the Emeralds scale into Solaris, though Power Stars and Grand Stars are far more plentiful. Clearly, this is getting fairly abstract, and both had multiple options that could win the day instantly, so the safest bet is to call this category a tie.
Which means it's finally time to compare their armies.
Eggman's army got that.
Clear at first glance. I mean, look at all those buzzsaws and rockets. Metal Sonic's speed
Metal
and power
Sonic
alone could
Metal
solo
Sonic
most of the
insane.
Koopa Troop. But the Eggman Empire lacked something Bowser had in spades. Teamwork and loyalty.
Eggman is a notoriously terrible team player. His alliances are practically guaranteed to fall apart.
Hell, in Sonic Generations, he could barely manage working with himself.
Eggman's army is designed to be controlled by just him. To Eggman, it's harder to command those with free will, hence his rivalry with the free-natured Sonic.
Meanwhile, the Koopa Troop follows Bowser because they actually like him. They train really hard to cover each other's weak points,
giving them plenty of advantages as this war progressed, like battlefield control through King Boo's magic and Bowser Jr.'s paint. And since the Koopa Troop doesn't rely that much on technology, Sage's hacking potential had little use.
Also, secret weapon?
But I'd still think Metal Sonic would still be stronger than a lot of them, though.
Gimmick is kind of busted,
But I mean,
canceling Metal Sonic's power
working
copy,
together is the
stealing the
biggest part.
Phantom Ruby, and potentially swapping the Chaos Emeralds were huge game changers.
Add on that Bowser and his army can use any Mario power-up item, and they had billions of combinations that the Eggman Empire just could not actively plan against. Even with Sage's millions of plans to take down the Titans, she thought them to be unbeatable, which Sonic proved was incorrect.
Just comparing their conquests makes it clear the Eggman Empire
was incorrect.
Bowser, a truly loyal army, more useful inherited abilities, stronger base form, equal cosmic and reality warping powers, equivalent strength via forms, negative mechanics, mind control, magic was ineffective. Eggman far more intelligent, cosmic, okay, equivalent strength. Less efficient leadership, Sage's technopathy was inefficient, army is mostly vulnerable. Damn.
Correct.
Just comparing their conquests makes it clear the Eggman Empire took over the whole planet, but Bowser's troop conquered most of the universe.
Eggman was no pushover. His wit, power output, and
conquered most of the Eggman Empire took over the whole planet, but Bowser's troop conquered most of the universe.
Eggman was no pushover. His wit, power output, and ridiculous machines gave Bowser the biggest fight of his life, but the Koopa King's ludicrous strength, abilities, and united forces ultimately prevailed.
Eggman tried to poach the king, and now he's cracked and scrambled.
The winner is Bowser.
Hey, I can't even hate, chat. That was an insanely good video. That was a W-ass video. I see why animation required 2 sponsorships. The fact that Neo Metal gave a thumbs up. No matter who won, always remember that Bowser and Eggman are kind of friends. Bro, nah. That was tough as fuck. I'm not gonna cap. That was a W in that battle. That was a W. Alright, on to the next.